The flight attendant said, "This plane should not take off today." The captain was angry at first, but when he found out who she was, he was shocked. This incident, which took place at Atlanta Airport in the early hours of the morning, would not only change a flight, but also a woman's life and the perspective of hundreds of people at the airport. This story goes much deeper than it appears, showing that dreams never die and that patience is the greatest virtue. Maya Johnson woke up at 4:15 a.m. to the harsh sound of her alarm. At 36 years old, she lived alone in a modest home in the southern part of Atlanta. She had been repeating the same routine for 12 years, but like every morning, the first thing she did when she got up was look at her commercial pilot's license hanging on the wall. The framed document both pained her and gave her hope. It caused him pain because he hadn't been able to use it for 12 years. But it gave him hope because it was still valid, and Maya never failed to renew it every year. Even while adjusting the water temperature in the shower, his mind was always on planes, clouds, and the sky. While preparing his coffee, he watched the planes passing by the kitchen window, trying to identify their models. Boeing 737-800, Airbus A320, maybe the 777 series. Maya's eye was very experienced because aviation was a part of her life at every moment. Maya Johnson's dream of becoming a pilot dated back to her childhood. Her father was a military pilot, and Maya had visited air bases with him when she was little, growing up hearing the sound of airplane engines. When she was 8 years old, her father lost his life on a mission flight. But this did not diminish Maya's love for aviation. On the contrary, it increased it. Her mother raised Maya alone, supported her daughter's dream, and did everything she could to help her obtain pilot training. Maya studied aerospace engineering in college, also underwent pilot training, and obtained her commercial pilot license at the age of 24. However, obtaining a license and finding a job were two entirely different matters. At the time, airlines were very selective in their hiring practices, especially when it came to young female pilots. Maya had applied to numerous major airlines, but each time she received the same cold response. "We currently have no suitable positions available." Behind these words lay unspoken biases and institutional barriers. Maya knew these existed, but couldn't confront them directly. When her money started to run out, she began taking temporary jobs. Waitressing in restaurants, office cleaning, security guard work. Each job taught her something, but none of them took her away from planes. When she finally saw the cleaning job posting at Atlanta Airport, accepting it wasn't just about the money. It was about being close to planes, seeing them every day, touching them, entering the cockpit. Maybe one day an opportunity would arise. She was ready to wait until that day came. Maya's patience and determination were legendary. Her coworkers had never seen her complain, get angry, or lose her morale. She was always calm, smiling, and full of positive energy. No one could see the storm inside her. No one knew that she read old flight manuals late at night, watched piloting videos online, or spent hours on flight simulator programs. Maya had a small but professional flight simulator setup at home. She was actually dedicating a significant portion of her salary to this hobby, her passion. She was learning new aircraft models on the simulator, practicing emergency procedures, and keeping her instrument flight skills up to date. 12 years had passed, and Maya was now one of Delta Airlines' most experienced cleaning staff. She was a professional who knew the ins and outs of the planes, familiar with every detail. Shift supervisors trusted her because Maya did her job perfectly. She had never received a complaint, never been late, never caused any problems. But no one knew her real story. No one knew that Maya renewed her pilot's license every year, underwent flight reviews, and updated her medical reports. Because Maya believed that one day that door would open. Every morning, she came to work filled with the same hope. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but definitely one day. That morning, Maya walked toward Terminal B as usual. It was 5:45 a.m., and the terminal was still asleep. She had cleaning supplies in her hand, a bag on her shoulder, and her usual calm expression on her face. Security guards said, "Good morning, Maya." The coffee vendor waved at her with a smile every morning, and the baggage handlers recognized her and respected her. Maya was someone everyone liked and trusted, but no one really wondered about. And Maya didn't mind, because she didn't do this job for the money, but because she loved being around airplanes. Every morning, as she cleaned the cockpit, seeing the control panel, touching the high-tech instruments, and sitting in the pilot's seat made her happy. That morning, Maya had 5 planes on her list. She cleaned the first 4 planes routinely. She worked with the same meticulousness on each one. She wiped down each seat in the passenger cabin, checked the seat belts, cleaned the luggage compartments, and disinfected the kitchen areas. Details were very important in Maya's work, because passenger satisfaction and health were at stake. When she finished the 4th plane, it was 7:30 a.m., and her final task was coming up. The Boeing 737-800 series plane with flight number DS-342. This plane was scheduled to depart for Los Angeles at 9:15 a.m. and would carry 189 passengers at full capacity. Maya had cleaned this aircraft before and was very familiar with this model. The Boeing 737-800 series was one of Maya's favorite aircraft. This reliable, economical, and pilot-friendly model was the aircraft Maya flew most often in the simulator. She knew every system, what each button did, and what each indicator meant. When Maya entered DS-342, everything looked normal. She began a systematic cleaning, starting with first class. She wiped down each seat, cleaned the cup holders, and disinfected the fold-out tables. She cleaned the business and economy classes with the same meticulousness. She paid attention to every detail because it was important to Maya that the passengers had a comfortable journey. In the galley, she cleaned the coffee machines, organized the service carts, and checked the emergency equipment. Then it was time to clean the restrooms. She cleaned each one individually, replaced the paper towels, and refilled the soap dispensers. For the final stage of her work, she headed to the pilot section to clean the cockpit. This was Maya's favorite part because she could see the pilot equipment. When she entered the cockpit, Maya felt excited as usual. She stood in front of the instrument panel and examined the familiar controls. There were hundreds of switches, buttons, screens, and gauges here. Maya knew them all. Fuel flow indicators, hydraulic pressure gauges, engine parameters, navigation screens, communication radios. As she began wiping down the main flight screen, something caught her attention. There was an abnormal condition on one of the hydraulic system indicators. Maya stopped and looked more closely. She saw intermittent fluctuations on the left hydraulic system pressure gauge. The pressure should have been 2,800 psi, but it was fluctuating between 2,500 and 2,600. This was definitely not normal. Maya's pilot training and simulator experience told her that this could be serious. She checked the engine warning display. The warning light for the left hydraulic system was not yet on, but the anomaly on the pressure gauge was clear. Maya was highly knowledgeable about hydraulic systems because they were critical systems and were taught in great detail during pilot training. The Boeing 737 had 3 hydraulic systems: A, B, and backup. The A system drew power from the left engine and supplied the landing gear, wheel brakes, thrust reversers, and flight controls. It was critical. If the A system lost pressure, it could lead to an emergency situation. In particular, during landing, there could be problems with the landing gear extension, loss of brake efficiency, and control surface limitations. Maya knew that this plane should definitely not fly. But as a cleaning crew member, how would she report this situation? Would anyone listen to her? Maya paused for a moment. She had kept quiet for 12 years, never sharing her pilot knowledge with anyone. But now 189 lives were at stake. Maya didn't hesitate. She left the cleaning tools behind and quickly exited the aircraft. She headed straight for the maintenance hangar. Maya knew where the hangar was because she had worked there for 12 years and knew the maintenance crews. She found Chief Engineer Robert Hayes. Robert was in his 50s, a senior maintenance engineer with 25 years of experience. Maya had seen him before, but had never spoken to him. "Mr. Hayes," Maya said, "there's a serious problem with the DS-342. There's an anomaly in the left hydraulic system pressure, and this plane shouldn't take off today." Robert Hayes looked up and stared at Maya in surprise. It was very unusual for a cleaning crew member to be discussing hydraulic systems. Robert's initial reaction was one of suspicion. "Excuse me, you're part of the cleaning crew, aren't you? What do you know about hydraulic systems?" he asked, a hint of sarcasm in his voice. Maya replied calmly, "Please check it. There is a fluctuation between 2,500 to 2,600 psi in the left hydraulic system pressure gauge. The normal operating pressure should be 2,800 pounds per square inch. There is no warning on the display yet, but this pressure loss could cause critical issues during landing." Maya continued, "There could be landing gear extension issues, reduced brake efficiency, and control surface limitations." Robert was surprised by Maya's technical knowledge. This level of technical discussion was not something one would expect from a cleaning staff member. Robert began to take the situation seriously. "How do you know all these details?" he asked. Maya simply replied, "Please check first, then we'll talk." Robert called 2 maintenance technicians and sent the DS-342 for a comprehensive inspection. "Check the hydraulic system first. Check the pressure readings, fluid levels, line integrity, pump performance, everything," he instructed. The technicians went to the aircraft with specialized equipment. 30 minutes later, they returned, and Robert's expression had completely changed. Everything Maya had said was correct. There was a pressure loss in the left hydraulic system. The main pump was showing intermittent failure symptoms, and this posed an unacceptable risk to flight safety. "How is this possible?" Robert muttered. "This wasn't detected in our routine inspection, but how did you figure it out?" Maya simply said, "Years of experience," and prepared to leave. But Robert stopped her. "No, you can't get away that easily. As a cleaning staff member, you can't perform hydraulic system pressure readings or discuss warning system functions. Who are you really?" Maya paused for a moment. The time had come to reveal the truth she had been hiding for 12 years. "I am Maya Johnson, a commercial pilot with a Federal Aviation Administration certification, instrument rating, and Boeing 737 type rating," she said. Robert was speechless. "So what are you doing here?" Maya smiled bitterly. "Trying to survive," she said. The conversation quickly spread throughout the maintenance hangar. The news that Maya, a cleaning crew member, was actually a qualified pilot who had identified the critical malfunction on the aircraft began to echo through the terminal. Maya tried to continue with her regular duties, but now everyone's eyes were on her. Ramp agents, gate agents, cabin crew. Everyone was talking about Maya. Questions like, is she really a pilot? Why is she doing cleaning? How long has she been here? Were flying around. Maya didn't feel she deserved all this attention. She had just done the right thing, but it didn't take long for the incident to reach airline management. The news reached Captain Michael Torres of Flight DS-342. Torres was 42 years old, had 25 years of experience as a pilot, and was one of Delta's most respected captains. He found the situation very odd because the hydraulic system had appeared normal during the pre-flight inspection, but Maya's discovery had prevented a catastrophic failure. Torres decided to find Maya. He found her in the staff lounge. Maya was quietly drinking her coffee and writing her shift report. "Maya Johnson?" Torres asked. Maya looked up and stood up when she saw Torres's pilot uniform. "Yes, Captain," she said. "Were you the one who reported the hydraulic malfunction on DS-342? Maya nodded. "How did you detect it? You're not a maintenance engineer." Torres saw something in Maya's eyes, confidence, knowledge, and that special look a pilot has. "Because I'm a pilot too," Maya said calmly. Torres was surprised. "A pilot? But you?" "I'm a cleaning crew member, yes. But I'm also a Federal Aviation Administration certified commercial pilot, instrument-rated, multi-engine rated, and Boeing 737 type-rated," Maya said. Torres couldn't believe it. "Can I see your license?" Maya pulled out her pilot's license, medical certificate, and flight logbook from her bag. Torres examined the documents. Everything was genuine. Maya had 1,400 flight hours. Her last flight review was conducted last month, and her medical certificate was valid. "How is that possible? How long have you been working here?" 12 years, Maya replied. "Why didn't you fly for 12 years? Maya took a deep breath and began to tell her story. "I completed my pilot training in 2011. I obtained my commercial license, instrument rating, and multi-engine rating. But at the time, the job market was very tough. Airlines had frozen hiring, and even experienced pilots couldn't find jobs. I was a recent graduate with minimal hours and no references. I applied to every major airline: Delta, American, United, Southwest, JetBlue. I was rejected by all of them." Maya continued. "I heard the response, 'There are no suitable positions available,' hundreds of times. Even regional airlines required experience. I applied to become a flight instructor, but those positions were also highly competitive. When my money started to run out, I switched to survival mode. I found temporary jobs: restaurant service, office cleaning, security guard. Then this cleaning job at the airport opened up. I took it because at least I'd be close to the planes." Torres listened carefully to Maya's story. "So why haven't you given up on becoming a pilot after all these years?" Maya smiled. "Who said I haven't? I keep my license active. I do an annual flight review, pass a medical exam, and meet the continuing education requirements. I have a flight simulator at home, take online ground school courses, read aviation magazines, and study aircraft systems. I'm still a current pilot. I just don't have a flying job." Torres was impressed by Maya's dedication. "How did you manage to keep your hope alive all these years?" "Because flying is my passion. It's not just a job, it's my identity. I was born to be a pilot. Temporary setbacks don't turn into permanent failures if you don't give up," Maya said. "But why didn't you tell anyone here that you're a pilot until now?" Torres's question made sense. Maya shrugged. "Who would have believed me? Besides, this job has taught me a lot. I've had the chance to see planes from an outsider's perspective. I observed maintenance issues, learned passenger behavior patterns, and saw airline operations from behind the scenes. I interacted with every department: ground operations, baggage handling, catering, cleaning, security. Maybe this experience will make me a more versatile pilot. It also kept me humble. It taught me that success isn't guaranteed, and every job has its dignity. Torres admired Maya's wisdom and maturity. This woman wasn't just technically competent. She also had character and life experience. Maya, Delta has a pilot shortage. We especially need experienced and qualified female pilots. Are you interested? Torres's question was Maya's dream, but she tried to remain realistic. Captain, thank you very much, but I have to be realistic. There's a 12-year gap in my resume. My recent flight experience is limited. Airlines want modern pilots with up-to-date technological knowledge. I may be outdated. Torres was impressed by Maya's honesty. Maya, you saved 189 lives today. Modern technology hasn't made you obsolete. On the contrary, it has made you more competent. You have also continued to learn. This dedication is very valuable. I have an offer for you, said Torres. Delta has a pilot training program. It's a 6-month intensive refresher course. Current technology, latest procedures, modern aircraft systems. If you complete it successfully, you can move directly into a co-pilot position. We'll pay you during the training period. Are you interested? Maya's eyes welled up. After 12 years, her dream job opportunity was finally within reach. But there's one condition, Torres continued. During the training period, you'll work for us as an aviation safety consultant. Your combination of ground operations experience and technical knowledge is very rare. You'll collaborate with maintenance teams and develop safety protocols. Do you accept? Maya paused for a moment. This wasn't just a pilot job. It was also an opportunity to share knowledge and contribute. Captain, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I accept, but I have a request. If I succeed in the training, I want to create opportunities for others. Maybe there are other qualified people like us who have been overlooked in the aviation industry. Could they also be given a chance? Torres smiled. Maya, you're not just a good pilot. You'll also be a good leader. We're in agreement. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes. Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best to earn this opportunity. 6 months later, Maya graduated from Delta Airlines pilot training program with the highest grades. She achieved an average of 98% in ground school exams, demonstrated exceptional performance in flight simulator sessions, and even impressed her instructors with her knowledge of aircraft systems. Most importantly, the work she did as a safety advisor during her training was highly valuable. Thanks to Maya's combination of ground operations experience and pilot knowledge, several safety improvements were implemented. Aircraft cleaning procedures were optimized, maintenance communication protocols were developed, and cross-training programs were established. Maya did not just become a pilot. She also made a significant contribution to the airline's safety culture. At the graduation ceremony, Maya delivered the keynote speech. 12 years ago, I was very upset when I received rejection letters. But now I understand that those rejections were a time of preparation. Over the years, I gained a different perspective, learned humility, and developed perseverance. Maya continued. Cleaning planes taught me to love planes. Working in ground operations showed me the importance of teamwork. Postponed dreams can sometimes be better dreams because you become more prepared and mature. The message here is, never give up on your passion. Alternative paths can sometimes be more rewarding than the main path. And most importantly, don't judge people by their appearance. Everyone has a story. Everyone has potential. Maya's speech was met with a standing ovation. The audience included not only pilots and airline executives, but also ground crew members, maintenance technicians, and cleaning staff. Maya had become an inspiration to them. After the ceremony, many employees approached Maya and shared their own hidden talents and suppressed dreams. Some mentioned their engineering backgrounds, others highlighted their language skills, and some shared their diverse educational qualifications. Maya realized there was a lot of untapped potential in the aviation industry. Maya now flies as a co-pilot on Boeing 737s for Delta Airlines and works part-time as an aviation safety consultant. Her pilot's license is no longer framed on the wall in her office. She carries it in her flight bag because she is now an active pilot. Maya also contributes to Delta's diversity and inclusion initiatives, develops mentoring programs, and creates alternative career path opportunities. The flight simulator at her home is no longer just a hobby. It is now an educational tool, and she teaches lessons to young, aspiring pilots. Maya's success story has become legendary at the airport, but she is not chasing fame. She remains humble, grounded, and grateful. She stays in regular contact with the cleaning crew she once worked with, showing them respect and support. Maya's philosophy: success brings responsibility. If you are blessed, you must bless others. Maya's story inspired many employees and brought about cultural change at Delta. Management now sees frontline employees in a different light, seeking to discover hidden talents and create career development opportunities. Most importantly, the hydraulic malfunction Maya discovered led to improvements in Delta's safety protocols. Experienced pilots now conduct periodic aircraft inspections, cross-training programs are implemented, and employee observation reports are encouraged. Maya's contribution had a positive impact not only on her own career, but also on the entire airline's safety culture. This shows that sometimes the most important contributions come from unexpected sources. Maya now mentors young pilots and tells them, "Never give up on your dreams, but be patient." Sometimes the longest journeys lead to the most beautiful views. Maya's story is shared with new employees at the airport every week. Her example shows that no one's potential should be underestimated, that every job is valuable, and that working with patience will always pay off. On Maya's desk, there is a small frame with the words, "Dreams never die. They just come true in different ways." This phrase sums up her 12-year journey and is the most valuable legacy she leaves for future generations. Maya's story teaches us valuable lessons. First, never give up on your dreams, even if the path doesn't seem straightforward. Alternative routes can sometimes be more fulfilling than the main path. Second, don't judge people by their appearance. Everyone has a unique story, hidden talents, and untapped potential. Third, every experience is valuable, even if it seems irrelevant. Maya's cleaning experience made her a better pilot because she began to understand airplanes from a comprehensive perspective. Fourth, humility and gratitude are the foundation of success. When Maya achieved her position, she did not become arrogant. Instead, she focused on helping others. Finally, Maya's story shows that opportunities don't always come in obvious forms. Sometimes you have to be ready for the opportunity. It won't wait for you. Maya kept herself updated, developed her skills, and stayed prepared for 12 years. When the moment came, she was ready. This is the most important lesson. Always be prepared, because opportunity may knock at unexpected times. Remember, each of us has hidden potential, Like Maya, don't let circumstances define you. Define your circumstances. Keep your dreams alive. Keep your skills sharp. And create opportunities. Maya's wings are no longer on the ground, but spread in the sky. And she shows us all that the combination of determination and passion creates an unstoppable force. So what about you? If you were in Maya's place, what would you have done when you noticed the issue with the hydraulic system? Would you have remained silent just because you were a cleaning crew member? Or would you have had the courage to speak up, even if it meant risking the lives of 189 passengers? And the second question, if you were in Robert Hayes's position, what would your first reaction be if a cleaning crew member reported such a technical issue to you? Would you take it seriously, or would you ignore it and look the other way? If Maya's story has inspired you, never give up on your dreams. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories. Share your own story in the comments, because your experience might spark hope in someone else. Remember, there's a Maya in all of us. We're just waiting for the opportunity to knock.